Alright everybody, hello, George here, another bit of Smashed. Sorry it's been so long since the last commentary, sort of just been concentrating on the other Smash videos, but I thought I'd better, because there's been quite a few that have come out without any commentary since the first video, I'd better catch up. So yeah, I'm getting on with the second commentary. Now, before I start, I'm aware that not many people are going to watch the commentary videos, sort of just the hardcore Smashed fans, if such a thing exists. So I'd like to give you a little special treat. So if you wait around for the end of the commentary, you'll get a sneak preview, a little clip from the next episode of Smash, which won't be up for like another 3 weeks. So boom, lucky you! How brilliant is that? Right, should we get going then? Yeah, probably get going. Alright, ready? Play. Now this bit was like the last thing that I changed just before uploading. I sort of wasn't happy with the original thing I had. I didn't like it. It was all about rabies and stuff, and I don't know, it seemed a bit weak. So I got in contact with Jake, who plays Chicken and is a physicist and knows a bit about science generally, and consulted my sister's boyfriend, who is more biology based than physics based, and with the two of them sort of came up with the idea for this bit. And I like it because it also gives you like a reason for what's going on as well, for why this sort of documentary of what happened exists. So that's quite nice. Have a quick drink. Right, now this bit was like 4 times as long originally. This first bit with Pegg and Brandon, and it was purposefully too long. It was on purpose. It was very, very long, and the reason for that was that I really wanted to nail this relationship between the two of them, because it's sort of what causes everything else to happen. Like the breakup is what sparks off Chicken taking Brandon away on holiday, which is why everything happens. As you saw in the latest episode, sort of some realizations Brandon has about the breakup leads to him doing a bit of a naughty kiss with Lily. Oh dear, naughty Brandon. Which again leads to more stuff later on. Leading on to the next episode, episode 5, which I don't think it'd be too much of a spoiler to say is when everything kicks off. So get excited, because it's about to actually, this thing that was shown that it was going to be a horror film is actually going to become a horror film finally. So that's good. None of this teen romance Twilight-y shit. A bit more of this teen romance Twilight-y sheet. Some more of this Twilight-y sheet. I hope it's better than Twilight-y sheet. Is it better than Twilight-y sheet? Put it in a what am I saying? What am I saying? It's not even a sentence. Right. This is the first time we meet Chicken. Again, this scene originally was like half an hour long. I've got this this recording that Jake, the guy who plays Chicken, and myself did like months before the actual filming, and it was this scene just extended massively. This was the first scene that we wrote. At that point, Jake and I were writing it together, and we wrote this scene to be like 30 minutes long, because we have an inability to be concise. Anyway, before we put it into the final thing, sort of shortened it down to like 15 minutes. And then in editing I had to make it like so that it could actually fit into a film. But all the stuff that's cut out from what we shot is in shards, and at some point I'll upload the full like 40-minute long cut of this scene that we shot months before. I might talk more about Pegg and Brandon. Basically the sort of the line that I came up with to sort of define their relationship is the one where he says I love you and she says I know, like Star Wars, and it sort of set up this whole sort of jokey, faux depreciative thing between the two of them, sort of putting each other down, which I thought worked really nicely for the whole idea that Brandon doesn't necessarily know where he stands. It's an ongoing theme through the film that Brandon sort of is more into their relationship than Pegg is, I think, which is the closest thing to a universal idea in this film. It's not universal, luckily. Luckily, there are some people who are, like, in good relationships. But I think that thing with Brandon is perhaps the thing that most viewers might be able to relate to. By most, I mean, like, 6%. But that's something. I sort of worked out while looking through the shards, the stuff cut out from this scene, that most of the stuff that I cut out was just Chicken being absolutely obscene. And he was just disgusting. He said horrific stuff. Even some mildly incestuous stuff. Not even mildly, just some incestuous stuff. And I'm very happy we took it out, because we sort of wanted to paint him as a bit of a wanker, so that maybe he could not quite redeem himself, but so that he could see that that wanker side of him wasn't the whole story. But if we had him too much of an arsehole early on, then it completely overrode any redemption. What should I talk about? What should I talk... Ah! Right! This is a cool little thing that I like that no one else is interested in. All the characters, well, all the main characters, their surnames are sort of based on things I like. So, for instance, Brandon Link is named after Link, the protagonist in the Legend of Zelda series, and Ocarina of Time was my favourite video game growing up. Then there's Chicken Fraser, who I think is quite a hard one to get. That's just for a small band of people. Fraser is a character from the Peacock and Gamble podcast, which is the most hilarious thing ever. If you haven't checked it out, go do that. And Fraser is a character from that, and so I named Chicken after Fraser. And Pegg is called Pegg Tyler, after Tyler Durden from Fight Club, which was at the time my favourite film. It's still up there with my favourite films, but hard to say anymore. You got Claudia Wallace and Daniela Wells, which together are Wallace Wells from Scott Pilgrim, who's one of my favourite characters from that series, the film and the comics. If you've only seen the film, go read the comics, they're fantastic. If you haven't seen the film, watch the film, you idiot. It's incredible. Then Lily Drake, who's about to arrive. Rosanna here. Yeah, she is. Lily Drake is named after Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series, which is another of my favourite video game series. Yeah, I'm a bit of a dork. Oh well. Look how hateable Claudia is. I love it. I love it. Lucy really went sort of full on with this. And I think that not only is it showing that Claudia's a bit of a bitch, but the scene also sort of sets up a kind of tension between Yellow and Chicken. These guys were so lovely. They were just some mates of mine that were like, oh yeah, that'll be fun, we can all hang out over the summer and shoot a film. Little did they fucking know that it would take almost the whole summer, mostly night shoots, and they'd be sort of coming to my house for 6, for like makeup and stuff, and then we'd get there for like 8, rehearse until 10, then start shooting until around 6 in the morning. They'd go home, sleep for a couple of hours, then some of them go to work, only to come back to mine. It was... These poor people. I'm so grateful to them, they're lovely. Thank you guys. Mwah. I think Lucy and Claire playing Madison, a character that we haven't met yet, got the brunt of the late nights. But they were troopers. And it was weird. Lucy got really attached to her character. At the end of filming, she was saying how she was upset because she didn't want to stop being Claudia, because she really enjoyed playing her. I mean, Lucy was quite lucky in that, actually, wasn't she? Because Claudia and Chicken, and probably Madison as well, who you haven't met yet, they're all quite defined. they have these great lines, or they have funny moments. It's sort of, even though they're the bigger characters, they're easier to play and keep interesting. And it's a real shame that Lily and Yella, although I had all this backstory for them written, when it all came together, they sort of were kind of buffer characters, which is really a shame. And I think fucking kudos to Maria and Rosanna for taking these perhaps underwritten, slightly dull characters and making them interesting to watch, believable, likeable, and they don't really get enough credit for that. I'm always saying, oh wow, Claudia's great in this bit, Chicken's great in this bit, but they don't get enough credit, so well done you guys for sort of having the thankless task of playing Yella and Lily. They get all of the same sort of rough nights and none of the fun of playing Claudia. I think I'd enjoy playing Claudia. It's quite nice to be able to play a character that's a bit twattish and doesn't really follow social rules, because it's like escapism, you can't do that in real life. Which is one of the reasons I really wanted to play Chicken. The whole start of it, while Jake and I were writing it together, he would read for Brandon and I would read for Chicken, because I really wanted to play Chicken. The problem was, Jake hadn't acted before, and he didn't want to do Brandon because Brandon has a lot of lines and stuff, and he's got some, emotional moments and everything, so he wasn't quite comfortable with that. Also, the problem with having, the entire cast being a friends group, and for the film to sort of involve romance and stuff, and there's lots of people kissing other people and everything, the amount of politics that goes into that. Some people you can't have kissing other people, obviously, because they were in a couple together, or you can't have someone kissing someone because they're in a couple with someone else, or you can't have someone kissing someone because that person was their friend's ex, and it gets all sorts of messed up. But originally, the ideas I had for the casting were very different, but still, when we settled on it, it worked quite nicely in the end. I'm very happy with it. But I think originally everyone wanted to play Lily, Rosanna's character. It's just a shame about Lily. I wrote character biographies for every character, and Lily had one of the sort of longest ones. I think the longest one is Madison's, who we haven't met yet. But I had lots of ideas about Lily, and then by the time we came to writing it and shooting it, she was sort of underwritten. She was meant to be a kind of, not necessarily shy, but quiet character. But I just wish I'd made more of Lily, because some of the ideas we had were really nice for her. Alright, I don't know how it's going to work out when I've edited this all together, but I've reached the end. Have you reached the end? I've reached the end. Right. So I guess, do all the commenting and liking and subscribing and stuff. And episode 5, all the shit's gonna kick off, coming in 3 weeks. Woo! So I'm gonna leave you with a little sneak preview of episode 5. And while you're watching that, I'm gonna be recording the commentary for episode 3. So blah. I'm quite tired at the moment. Can you tell? Have I been sort of rambly? I think I have. Anyway, enjoy it. Stay geeky. Bye.
What are you doing?
I get light a bit. What do you reckon down there?
I don't reckon a fucking mouse what's down there. Oh, don't be a wanker, knob.